Hey everyone, what's happening? So today we're going to be solving a few more complex linear equations. Now they're going to get more and more complex, and we're going to do a quick review of what we've done so far. Remember that we're using reverse order of operations. So we're using BEDMAS backwards basically. Alright, so what we've got here is we've got p minus 10 equals 20. Well, we're going to do the opposite of negative 10, which is positive 10, and we're going to do that to the other side as well. So we get p equals 30. Now if we put this back in, we're going to get 30 minus 10 equals 20. Now we've got 1p over 6 equals 3. Well, that's just like saying p over 6, so we can rewrite it as p over 6 equals 3. And what is this saying? Well, it's saying p divided by 6 equals 3. So something divided by 6 equals 3. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite of division, and we're going to multiply each side by 6. What this does essentially is it puts a 1 underneath that 6, and then we get 6p over 6. These 6's cancel out to 1, and we get p equals 18, because 3 times 6 equals 18. Next we've got 8x plus 7 equals 25. Well, we can't do anything with x yet. We need to get rid of this 7. So we're going to do the opposite of positive 7, which is negative 7. And then we're going to subtract 7 from the other side as well. We get 8x equals 25 minus 7, which is 18. Well, what are we going to do now? We're going to divide by 8, and this goes to 1. So we're left with x. And we've got 18 divided by 8. Well, we can reduce this to get 9 over 4. And we can put that into a mixed number, and we can get 2 and 1/4. Let's move on to this next one. This is a little bit more difficult. We've got 2x over 5 plus 4 equals 19. Well, we need to get rid of that 4 first, so we're going to subtract the 4, and we get 2x over 5 equals 15. Next, we need to get rid of that 5. So it's saying 2x divided by 5, so we need to do the opposite of that. And we're going to get multiply by 5. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. 5 divided by 5 is just 1. And then 15 times 5 is going to be 75. So we get 2x equals 75. Now we're saying 2 times x equals 75, so we're going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. Those 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we get x equals, and 75 divided by 2 is 37.5. Now if you put that back in over here, it would make it equal. Next we've got a little bit of foiling, so we're adding in what we did last term and last section. So this says 3 times x and 3 times negative 1. So we've got 3x minus 3 equals 12. Now there is a couple different ways to do this, but we're going to do this way first. And then we're going to go plus 3, and we get 3x equals 15. Next we're going to divide by 3, and our x turns out to be 5. We can do this another way as well. You can do it so that we can divide this whole thing by 3, divide this whole thing by 3, and we get x minus 1 equals 4. We can go back and say, well, what's the opposite of negative 1? We go plus 1. Plus 1. Those cancel out, and we get x equals 5. We get the exact same answer. That's just one more way to do it. Now, you can't do that with this next question. We've got to use the distributive property. So we're going to go 10x minus 10 equals 6x plus 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to combine like terms, and we're going to get our x's on one side and our constants on the other. So we're going to bring this 10 over, and we get 10x equals 6x plus 14. Now we're going to bring our 6x over, and we get 4x equals 14. Our final step is we're going to divide by 4, and we get x to equal 14 over 4, or 7 over 2, or x equals 3.5. Next and finally, we're going to do this last question here. It's a little bit bigger, and what we want to do now is we want to get x by itself. So we've got 7x over 3 minus 3 equals 3x, 3 times 2x plus 1. And we're going to distributive property this so we get 6x plus 3 right off the bat. Now what we can do is we can add 3 and add 3. So we get 7x over 3 equals 6x plus 6. Now we've got that pesky 3 on the bottom. And what we need to do is by getting rid of it, we need to multiply everything by 3 because right now it's saying it's dividing by 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply everything in the equation by 3. And we get 7x, so these cancel out to a 1. 7x equals 18x plus 18. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get our x's on one side. So we're going to subtract this 18x, subtract 18x, and we get negative 11x equals 18. Our final step is we're going to divide by negative 11, and we get x equals negative 18 over 11. I just moved that negative up. I would like you to come to class if this completed, please. Have a good night.